Okay, so I was asked to do a yogurt, how to home make yogurt video. So that's what I'm doing. I didn't show you the whole cooking process, so I'll just tell you real quick. You just take a gallon of milk, if that's how much you want, or you could do a half a gallon of milk. Anyway, normally I do a whole gallon, but this time I did a half gallon. If you're doing a whole gallon of milk, you put it in a stock pot and you heat it up till it's 185 degrees to 195. I usually stay on the lower side. So I have already heated it up. I didn't want you to have to watch that because I don't know how to edit videos. And so here's my thermometer. So I'll stick the thermometer in there. Woo, and I almost knock over. So we're gonna look at the thermometer here. See what the degrees is. You don't ever want to bring it to a boil. So there's 185, 187. So I went ahead and turned the oven off. There's 189. So 190. So definitely we're gonna take it off the heat. So whether you're doing a whole gallon or a half a gallon, you're gonna heat it up between 85 or 185 degrees Fahrenheit to 195 degrees Fahrenheit. Now I'm gonna put the plug into the sink, okay? And then I'm gonna go get some ice because now we wanna cool down the milk. So I'm gonna throw some ice into the sink. Gonna start filling it up with water. As that's filling up, I'm gonna come over here and get the yogurt, or actually the milk, sorry. And I'm gonna turn it around. So I'm gonna pick up the milk, pan and all. I'm gonna move the kind of the faucet head so water doesn't get in it. And we're gonna set it in this icy water. Like this, to get it cooling down. And so you want the cold water to come up, you know, at least halfway. And so then I'm gonna get my thermometer. There's my jars ready to put the yogurt in it. If you were to do a half or a whole gallon of whole milk, and I just use store-bought milk, regular store-bought milk, but not like ultra pasteurized or anything like that. So usually I do whole milk, and then that'll make 4 quarts and then 1 pint. Or if you didn't want to use quarts, then obviously that would double as pint. You would have like 8 pints from the 4 quarts and then the extra pint left over. And so then usually with the extra pint, I use that for my next starter batch for the next batch of yogurt. Anyway, so I'm only doing a half a gallon today. I'm the only one that eats yogurt. Normally, like I said, I do a whole gallon, but I don't know, I just was feeling like half a gallon. So therefore it's only gonna make, instead of 4 quarts and a pint, then it would make like 2 quarts and a pint, roughly. So, anyway, so though you warm up your milk, once it's warmed up to between 185 and 195, then you stick it in the whole stock pot in this icy cold water, and I stir it around. And so we're gonna look at the degrees here, and we're gonna bring it down to 125. It doesn't usually take long. So we bring it down to 125. See, it's cooling down pretty fast. I'm gonna stir it some more with just the end of the digital thermometer. You can use like a candy thermometer that's not digital. That's what I've always used, but I somehow keep breaking them. So I got this digital one. And you kind of want to do it on like a medium to low heat when you're heating up your milk, because you don't want it to boil. So let's look at the temperature again. It's 131. You do not want it that hot when you go to add your yogurt culture in it, because it'll kill all the bacteria, the live active cultures in your yogurt. So when you're homemaking yogurt, you want to get a plain yogurt, like 8 ounces. Sometimes I've done 5 or 6 ounces and it's worked just fine, of plain yogurt that has the live active cultures in it. The bacillus, the thermo, all those live cultures. Okay? So, and that's why you got to bring it back down so that you don't kill any of those live bacteria. All right, we're at 122. That's actually perfect. So I can take this out. I'm gonna move my jars over because that stock pot is gonna be drippy wet, and I'm not gonna put it back on the stove. So I'll just put it on this right here. I'll turn this around so you don't have to be looking at my sink of washed dishes. All right. Now, and everything needs to be clean. Your jars need to be clean. Your measuring tools, everything like that need to be clean, okay? So I brought out a measuring cup here. And I'm gonna get the yogurt. Now, I'm starting as if I didn't have a culture already. I know you're looking into my refrigerator. Okay, so here's some, I get yogurt that doesn't have all the extra fillers in it. So this is, oh, it's too blurry. I don't think you can see the ingredients. It won't. Anyway, all the ingredients are in here are grade A pasteurized milk and cream, live active yogurt cultures, Bulgarus, thermophilus, acidophilus, bifidus. I know I'm not pronouncing these right. I'm chopping it all up. Anyway, and so this is just 7 ounces, and there's no extra carcinogens or guar gum or nothing like that. And normally, I don't get per se this brand. Sometimes I do. I try to find what's on sale that doesn't have all the extra ingredients. So then what I do is I open the yogurt container. Like this. And so I pour it into, I can't do this one-handed. I pour it into this, oh, didn't know there was an extra sheet here. There is a mosquito flying around. So and I don't know how to turn my camera around and hold it there. Maybe like that. Okay. I'm gonna have to use a spoon to scrape out the yogurt. So, scraping out the yogurt, I'll show you here in just a minute. So, it looks like that. All right, and then what you do, I have my hand crank blender right there. Let me pull this out because I'm also gonna puree some watermelon to make watermelon juice. So, of course, I'm not prepared. Well, So I'm gonna set you right here. Hopefully it'll stay. Here's these jars. This isn't a really great video. I don't have any professional equipment. So I'm not gonna try to open my drawer to get my ladle. So I'm just gonna pour milk in here till it gets up to 2 cups. And then I stir it really, really good. I will get a whisk. Whisk it up really good. Till it's well blended with the milk that came out of the stock pot. Okay, I think that's well stirred. So then what you do is you take this and add it to the milk in the stock pot and then mix it real good. And then some of you might be asking, well, can't you just put the yogurt right into the stock pot and stir it up and mix it? You could. You could actually do that. I've done that before, and for some reason, I don't know, I just didn't get it mixed as well. And so the yogurt didn't turn out as thick. It was still yogurt, but I like really thick yogurt and not runny yogurt. When it's runny, to me, it's more like yogurt kefir, you know? So, which is fine, it works. But anyway, so then I mix this really good. Okay, so I would say that's probably mixed. That'll suffice. So then I'm gonna turn you around. Hopefully you'll be able to see. All right. So then I have my jars here. And if you wanna use a funnel, you can use a funnel. If not, no need to worry about that. I have too many things going on at one time. Anyway, all right, so I'm going to pour the milk mixture into the jars. And I'm gonna do a mixture of quarts and pints. Sometimes I do that, just depends. Used to, I just did quarts, and then I switched over to just doing pints, just because I'm the only one that eats it. But I do use it in like potatoes. I use it to make my own homemade ranch. So there's lots of things you can do with it. So I'm gonna do in this quart cream cheese. So this one that I'm putting in the quart, that's probably gonna be my cream cheese one. Yeah. And then, I guess I changed my mind here in just a minute. I'm not for sure. It depends on how much this fills up. That filled that one up. So this would fill up 2 pints. And I don't have 2 pint jars, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. So now we have the milk in the jars. All right, I'm gonna come get you and turn you around. You have the milk in the jars. I'm gonna take my lids, put them on. Like so. I love these plastic lids. I love them, I love them, I love them. Okay, so then, after you've done that, you need to have water in a cooler. I didn't do this ahead of time because I wanted to show you. So, I'm gonna go ahead and drain out this icy water. So you want water that is not any warmer than that 120 to 125, because you don't want to ruin the cultures in your milk with your live active culture yogurt in there to turn into yogurt. So basically the cooler is going to incubate. It's going to be kind of an incubation container for your yogurt to keep warm so it can do its fermenting and doing its thing while it sits there for a while. So I'm going to turn this around, and I know this is probably not a good way to do it, but I'm going to put water in here. You don't have to fill it up. It just has to be a little bit. Just enough to keep the cooler warm. So I'm going to take the thermometer and just double check. Just double check my water temperature. See what it says. It's not warmer than 80. Oh, there's 90, which is fine. It just doesn't need to be hotter than like 122. 122, 125. So that's 90 degrees, so we're fine there. It's warm enough to incubate. If you want to make it hotter, you can. So I'm going to take the yogurt, put it in the cooler, bring the other one over, put it in the cooler. I need to tighten those lids. I can't do it one-handed. And actually, it needs to be a little bit more water in there. It's not the greatest video. I realize that. All right, then you close the lid. Granted, if you're doing a whole gallon, there'd be 4 quarts and a pint in there, or 9 pints, 8 pints from the, and then the extra. So you close the lid to your cooler, and then you set it in a spot. I'm gonna set it over here in a spot that's not gonna be disturbed. You can leave it there anywhere from 3 hours to 24 hours. So it's completely up to you. It just definitely needs to be left there for 3 hours. Then you take it out, wipe off your jars because it'll be wet, and then stick it in the refrigerator, and voila, you have yogurt. So it is 5:56, and I will, by the time I go to bed, say, I don't know, 10 o'clock tonight, then I will take it out and put it in the refrigerator. Enjoy.